This person is not being clear with you. This person has many things to tell you, many things to confess to you. This person is keeping many things to themselves. This person still maintains the illusion, the hope, the faith that everything will work out with you, that this can be solved, that they can change their circumstances, yours, that this is not just an illusion. This is someone who feels sad about the way they have been acting towards you. This is someone who feels sadness and, furthermore, very deeply, because in a certain way they would love for you to know their truth, their true feelings, their regret for certain words they said to you or for certain situations they made you live through that you did not deserve. Among the most important confessions this person has to make is that they do not forgive themselves for what they did to you. They do not forgive themselves for being in this situation, for being silent, for being distant, for not expressing what they feel, for not talking to you as they should, for not telling you things as they should be. This person is not well, even if they try to pretend or pretend otherwise, because they have many things hidden inside that they are unable to bring to light due to that cowardice that they deny to everyone, due to that cowardice that characterizes them and that they do not want to admit. And therefore, that is why they do not change, because if someone has a problem, the first step to overcoming that problem is to admit that they have it. And this person is unable to see that what prevents them from revealing their feelings, what prevents them from confessing to you, that they do not really forgive themselves for what they did to you and do not forgive themselves for finding themselves in the situation they are in with you, is that cowardice. Therefore, their greatest obstacle, and they have to accept that obstacle in order to overcome it. The energy of Pisces and Cancer are very marked initially, although remember that these are general readings and all the signs are involved. Wow, this person is incredible. They are in the midst of very, very deep reflection right now. They do not stop visualizing possibilities, visualizing changes and how they could behave. Is in a period of reflection about what he or she has experienced in his or her life, what he or she has lived with the people he or she has been with, what he or she has done to you, what he or she has lived with you, the situation he or she finds himself or herself in. Right now, a sea of ideas is increasing, more like a sea of chaos, of internal conflict, because he or she is someone who is thinking a lot, but does nothing. He or she is someone who, with the energy of the hermit here, which is an energy of reflection, of wisdom, but also of patience, of slowness. I feel someone who is trying to reach a conclusion, but it is taking him or her longer than he or she expected. Among those conclusions is precisely that he or she is no longer satisfied with the life he or she has. He or she is no longer satisfied with the decisions he or she has made. That there are things he or she cannot forgive himself or herself for, including how he or she behaved towards you, how he or she is behaving, how he or she remains isolated from you. The time it took her to find light or guidance for what's happening to her is someone who distances herself from you due to internal conflicts, because she's not able to truly envision what she wants in her life. She's not able to make a strong and accurate decision about what she wants in her life, because she's too afraid of change, too afraid of her own emotions, of the intensity of the connection with you, even. She's someone who life has tried to put certain circumstances in front of her so that she can learn, so that she can heal wounds that she left for later, wounds that she didn't assume at the time, that she didn't know how to deal with. It's like everything is coming crashing down on her now. I feel like she's someone who, wow, this is frustrating her a lot. That's why she's like an island. She keeps silent, keeps her own thoughts to herself, or doesn't express herself as she should with you, or doesn't tell you what she should say, or doesn't act as she should. But because she has a mental chaos that she can't deal with all the time. She's someone who I feel is very stressed out with everything she has on top of her. I feel someone repeating this phrase. I have too many things on my plate. I have so many things to deal with and I don't know where to start. The Virgo energy is very, very marked here, huh? Wow. This person is like how my heart sees you. They see you in such a beautiful way. They see you in such a special, unique way that you have no idea. Why don't you get an idea? Because this person treats you in such an incoherent, confusing, and doubtful way that you really start to doubt whether they think about you, whether they feel something, what has happened here, whether this connection exists, that despite those looks or despite that intuition of yours that never fails, you end up not listening to them because you think they are crazy after how they have behaved with you, after how they have acted. It is normal for you to doubt, but this person sees you as their empress, regardless of your gender, whether you are a man or a woman. This person feels that you are that person with all the qualities they have always dreamed of. You are that person who has everything to make them happy. You are that person who fills their soul just by thinking about you. You are that person who has changed their life just by knowing you, just by talking to you. You have a light that permeates their soul. This person feels that you were always right. You were right. They do feel for you. They were afraid of what they feel for you, and that is why in a certain way they run away or do not accept what is there. They do not accept change. They do not accept the creation of something new with the Empress. They do not accept the transformation with the number 3. They do not accept that they must take action to change the way they have been, to generate something new and prosperous by your side, something with pure and unconditional love. This is someone who accepts that you have been the part in this connection that has been more vulnerable, more sensitive, more emotional, that you have been the one who has done everything you can to make this work, that you have let your shield down. However, that person keeps their shield up, as if to prevent you from penetrating their energy, their feelings, as if to prevent you from knowing what they are thinking, what they are feeling, or what they are going to do, because they are afraid that you will penetrate their soul more than you have been doing. This person is even afraid that you will see them differently, that you will see how vulnerable they are, the darkness that is inside them, and that you will no longer see them the same. That is why this person sometimes withdraws into themselves, isolates themselves with the energy of the hermit, because they are afraid that you will continue to see that darkness that they have. They are afraid that you will no longer see them as special. The energy of Taurus is very marked. Here I feel that this person, lately, due to their complex behavior with you, due to those doubts, to those comings and goings perhaps, or to that contradictory behavior that characterizes them so much, feels that you are distant, that you are different, that you are cold, that you are not going to be the same anymore, that they deserve this indifference on your part, but it is hurting them. They want you to know that somehow they know. They sense it. They know that you have every right to act the way you are acting, to look out for yourself, to be blunt, to have things clear and not accept crumbs like before. But this person would also love to tell you right now that they desire you more than ever, that they want to be with you more than ever, that this is hurting them like never before, that they have never felt this before, that the desperation is going to kill them. This person is too afraid that you will no longer allow them into your life. And why are they afraid? Because they are still unable to let go of what is preventing them from being with you. Because they are really someone who still has many things to reveal, many things to bring to light, many things to fix in their life before reaching you. And this person wants to enter your energy, but they continue to be disappointed. They think that they cannot give you everything they would like to give, and, because of that, they feel that it will not go well, that you will not accept them, and that disappoints them, and, because of that, they do not act, because they are telling themselves that why should I act if I do not have anything new to offer them, or I do not have what they are asking for or what they need. I cannot meet their expectations at the moment. So, why should I act or why should I excite them? Yes, I am not going to do anything, or I am not going to do something different from what I have been doing. So, that is why this person has certain disappointments with what would happen, because they really do not have anything better to offer you yet. The air energies are very marked here. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And this person feels like this. Like this little bird in this golden cage, in its structure, in its life, in its day-to-day, with a lot of ego, with a lot of attachment to what it has, with a window open, but it is not going to take the key to its freedom even though the door of the cage is open, but it does not go. Why? Because it has a lot of ego. This person could also be of the sign of Capricorn. This person has a lot of dependence on what they have. They are also very dependent on their ideals, on their conditioning, on their limiting ideas, on material things too. Even whatever the situation you live with him or her. Because realize that these are general readings and not everything is going to resonate with everyone. That is why you must adapt the story of your life. But this person has a certain dependency on something that could be material, the social structure, the family structure, a partner, a mother, a father, the opinion of certain people in their environment, whether they are friends, siblings, nephews, certain ideals that harm them because they limit their thinking, they limit their action. That is why they do not feel free to move forward and do what they want with their life, because they depend on that or believe they depend on that to be happy. That is why this person still has to heal that. They have to free themselves. They have to clarify everything. Realize that the ego card comes out under the moon. It is the same energy. This person has to come to light. They have to get out of the cage. They have to know who they are. They have to know their truth. And to know this, they have to continue working on their wisdom, on their intuition with the energy of the hermit. They are on the right path, yes, but they have a long way to go. This person is like living in the past. They live in the past. It could be that they have a certain dependency on something, and this isn't going to be for everyone, but it will be for someone in particular. This person may have had a dependency on certain behavior they had in the past or on certain behaviors that certain people had in their past, how they treated them, and that's why they close their heart and that's why they don't dare to love again, to have a serious, stable relationship, or they're afraid to get back into a relationship with you if they already had a relationship, because they're afraid to go back to the toxicities of the past, or there's someone who suffered with a previous partner and you feel that they haven't let go of that dependency on that person, and no matter how much you ask them to change, you feel like they have to click to detach themselves from that person from the past. All of this or your situation is what I'm saying. But I feel these types of circumstances. This person, with respect to the past, because that's what it's about with a Two of Wands, which is a Two of Fire, feels a certain dependency that comes from long ago, that comes from their structure, even from their transgenerational family structure. It could even be certain relationships with their family or on a social level. How this person has been living and experiencing their reality that prevents them from being different with you. That prevents them from starting something new with you. It has something to do with their life story. The energies of Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo are very marked here. Do you realize what I was telling you? Because of that past story, they have that ego, that fear, that attachment to what they feel, that lack, that internal need, that emptiness. That's why this person is totally dissatisfied. This person is not happy with what they have, but they still don't dare to make a move and take action to go with you, and that's why they don't forgive themselves. Why don't they forgive themselves? Because they are wasting their time instead of going to look for you, instead of knocking on your door. With this, they constantly dream that they are going to look for you to give you an explanation, to ask for your forgiveness, to talk to you, to have an open-hearted conversation with you. Visualize this a lot, my heart, because they need to ask for your forgiveness. But, in order to ask you for forgiveness, they have to forgive themselves for how they've been acting, so that they can start acting differently, so that they can start. Let's see, is another chance really possible? But if they don't give it to themselves, how are they going to ask you for it? But there's someone who, wow, is vibrating with regret, desolation, nostalgia, sadness for being or feeling so lost in life. There's someone who really doesn't forgive themselves for the type of life they've led or the decisions they've made about anything that has to do with you. They feel that they've been very dishonest with you, someone who hasn't treated you the way you deserved, someone who has treated the person who's always been there for them in the worst way. Because there's someone who, at this moment, feels dissatisfied with how they haven't recognized or valued what you've done for them, how you've been there for them. Or it's someone who regrets not showing you the affection you give them or the affection you used to give them. Wow. But what happens? The structure, what they have, weighs more heavily for this person at the moment. They're trying to maintain something instead of creating a new structure with you, which is what they'd like to do. They'd love to have the assurance that all this is going to work out and that you're going to be a part of their future the way they'd like. They'd love to be by your side. She would love for the universe to give her a sign that would tell her, yes, this is the right person. Take action. Don't be afraid of what others are going to think, of what others are going to say. Don't be afraid to make decisions in your life. Don't be afraid to follow the dictates of your heart, that this is the right person. Quote, she would love for it to be told to her in some way so that she could act. Because this person dreams of that future with you. Dreams of creating a structure, a home, of asking for your forgiveness, for you to forgive her and creating a safe and healthy home with you. And this is what she is trying to work on in that isolation. I want this person to know that in this suffering, in this pain, she is learning many things and is also learning to be very patient with herself. And this is going to be one of the first steps when it comes to changing, when it comes to taking action. That's why it's number 5, the structural change that is coming for this person. But the first step, as I said before, must be to accept that she is being cowardly, to accept that she is not perfect as they believe or as they try to appear or pretend to be in front of others. They have to assume their vulnerabilities, their emptiness, their darkness in order to integrate the light and be a complete, balanced being, and they're on their way. Because the number 5 again, notice that the 5 of Earth has also come out here. The number 5 shows lack, but also the first step towards building something new, towards that change that they need. And even though it is in a vibration of lack and need, that vibration is precisely what they need to become wiser and to see those lessons that everything that has happened with you and everything that has happened in their life brings them. So, this is someone who is channeling the guides for me right now, who is on the right track. If what you want to do is achieve true happiness and have it with you. Let's see. With the Witch's Wisdom Tarot. What else does your person want to tell you today? And if you are enjoying the reading and it is resonating with you, I invite you to give me a like, to subscribe if you haven't already, because that way you can do it. You would help a lot, but this is your channel a lot and, above all, tell me a little more about your story in the comments, because I love connecting with you, getting to know you more and helping you a little more. That's what you asked me to do. So let's go. Let's see how your person is vibrating towards you at this moment, please. Okay, this one wanted to come out the Queen of Wands. Let's go. What else? Seven of Wands. Wow. And the King of Swords under the Queen of Swords. I mean, look, here I feel that this person clearly feels like they are between a rock and a hard place. They feel like they have to act now, but they also feel like they are being watched by more people, by other opinions. This person is between continuing to maintain a rude, strong, mental attitude with the King of Swords and not doing anything for you, pretending that they are fine in their current situation, pretending that they do not need to interact with you, while you are empowering yourself, while you are befriending your fears. What is this dragon? You are enriching your self-love, you are following your path, you start detaching yourself, letting go, and seeing that the more you detach yourself, the more you let go of all this, the more joy comes to you, the more suitors and illusions enter your life, and that's how they're chasing you. That's why I'm telling you that this person is between their back and a hard place, because on the one hand they see that you're distancing yourself, they're being indifferent, they're being abrupt, you don't admit what you were admitting, and then they're among those people who, if they move toward you and take action against you, will judge them. And this person, therefore, has to detach themselves from those other opinions, from that gossip, from that manipulation, perhaps in some situations, from that control, or from thinking that somehow those people are going to act in the way they think they're going to act, and maybe later on they don't, because their fears are really in their mind. That's why this person can't live in their little head, in their mental positions. They have to act and see the consequences on a worldly level. This person has to detach themselves from those other opinions, from that gossip, from that manipulation, perhaps in some situations, from that control, or from thinking that somehow those people are going to act in the way they think they're going to act, and maybe later they don't, because their fears are really in their mind. That's why this person can't live in their little head, in their mental positions. They have to act and see the consequences on a worldly level. This person has to do something. He misses you so much. He is vibrating with nostalgia, not sadness, but with an energy of need towards you that you can't imagine. This person wants to compensate you. This person wants to fix things. He wants to offer you more than he has been offering you. This person wants to ask for your forgiveness and also wants to apologize if he made you feel inadequate, if he made you feel that you were not special, if he made you feel that you were not up to his level, or if he made you feel that because of the differences between you, you were not at his level. It is that I noticed certain differences between you that made you think that because of that this person did not consider you a good option. It could be an age difference between you, a difference in cultures, ethnicities, races, culture, social, economic. You adapt it to your life, to your situation, but I feel that he is someone who somehow, due to those obstacles, those differences, or even differences of opinion between families or different situations that both of you may be having, it could not happen. But, really, it was not your fault for absolutely anything. Because everything this has not originated due to this person's mental blocks. especially because they do not give you security. They do not give you the confidence you need to make decisions either. So, this is someone who has been insecure with their approach to you up until now. So you consider that you have not been prudent in following the instinct of your heart and your emotions and going after this person because you feel that this will distance them further. So, you are doing very well in empowering yourself. Do not be afraid that this person will distance themselves further, because when you have this empowering behavior, you are simply attracting them even more. You are causing the tower to fall. You are causing this structural change. You are causing this person to realize that it is possible to start from scratch and that it is great and it would be great to destroy everything they have in order to rebuild something beautiful, something new with you. You are causing a tower. And how are you causing it? With that empowerment, with that behavior that you are having. Why? Because you are looking out for yourself, and that is essential. Again, the 10 of Pentacles to end the reading. The last card in this spread again. Here I see a home with this person. When this person decides to end that tower, decides to let it fall, decides to build something new and stable on top of it with you. Here I see a home with this person. Here I see a family. Here I see a structure with you. Here I see dreams come true. Here I see growing old together, because in a certain way you already knew from the beginning that what you had was special, was unique, and that the only thing that was preventing this connection was above all the fears of this person who did not know how to assume this great connection. Wow. 8 of Wands. The fastest card in terms of communications in the tarot. If you were not receiving connections, communications, notifications from this person, approaches or things were tense or they had stopped talking to you, giving you those glances or had stopped meeting up, this person is going to get back in touch with you because you are driving them crazy with your behavior. Why? Because in the end, you are giving them a taste of their own medicine, because at the same time, in the end, you're opening their eyes, and in the end, even though they're scared, because look at the panic on this girl's face, even though they're scared, this person is going to act. This person is going to want to come back into your life before you go with someone else or before you make the final decision not to open the door to your life again. Wow. Let's see what else with the Oracle or Tarot, or let's go there and see what else it has to tell you. And I also want to thank those people who trust me for private readings. Thank you very much for your trust. It warms my heart when they tell me that they've found those answers they were looking for, that guidance to such complex, difficult, intimate and personal issues. So thank you infinitely for all your support, your love, your affection, and your wonderful recommendations. Let's go. Look, this is their current energy. This person is repressing themselves. This person is contracting. This person tries to turn their back on you, or that's what they see. That's what they've been doing. They've tried to look the other way. They've tried to ignore you. To their heart, to their feelings, but that will end because in the end when you repress something too much, when you resist and pull too much, it will end up in the air. That's why the tower falls, because this person is finally going to let go. Because this person is already seeing those infinite possibilities. This person is looking at things from another perspective, like this eagle. They are seeing things from above. They are not only focusing on the problems, but they are focusing on the problems, but also on the solutions this time. Here we have the Empress again. Here I feel someone who is already beginning to see those possibilities of creating something new with you. It's like they already need it. It's like they are already beginning to draw a future with you. Even though you don't even realize it, this person is already beginning to think differently. They are beginning to create images in their mind that they hadn't even imagined before. But why? Because they need to fly high. They need another perspective. Because where they were, in the situation that prevented them from moving towards you, in the situation where they saw only darkness, only problems, they did not allow him to live with satisfaction. They did not allow him to live peacefully and calmly. And this person knows perfectly well that he must make a decision according to what he wants to live, according to what he wants to have with you. Because if he does not move from there, that is how it will end. And this person does not want this in his life. He does not want to be repressed for the rest of his life and with total regret of never forgiving himself for having let you escape. Because if you are with this person now, imagine when you are with someone else and this person feels that you love that person more than him or her. This would destroy him, but for all eternity. So what the guides, angels and beings of light are telling you, and again the number 2. They are telling me to please look for the angelic frequency 22 because there is a message for you, and the number 2 speaks of couples. It speaks of romantic destiny. They are telling you to be calm, live in the moment, live in the here, in the now, that you do not worry about what has happened or what may happen. Move on. Enjoy the present moment. Stay in the here and now because it's going to be so important, because this is going to happen moment by moment. This isn't going to happen so quickly, but from the moment you start enjoying this moment, enjoying who you are, and starting to value and love yourself, you're going to think that things are going to happen. Because from the moment this person gets in touch with you, even though things aren't going as fast as you'd like, you're going to see that little by little there will be gradual, continuous changes, and that little by little the connection will progress, and when you realize it and look back on the story of both of you, you're going to realize, wow, how far we've come, and look how far we've come. And I don't even want to tell you when you're like this. Hear the two of you talking about everything you've experienced, everything you've lived through. It was worth it to get to where you are. In the end, everything was as it had to be. So that's why they're asking you not to worry, but keep flowing with life. Don't get paralyzed by what you're experiencing with this person, because everything is perfect and destiny is acting in favor of this connection so that things continue this way, okay? Let's look at some letters and numbers to see if they fit you and your person, the connection. Let's see if they're important to you. I also invite you to my other channel, Interactive Tarot Today with Eden, where I post interactively about your special person. So I'll see you there too. Perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, too many letters and numbers have come up. The letter U. The number 3 is also important. The number 3 in this reading because it's the number of the Empress and it's come up 3 times. So I feel that for someone the number 3 is very important. The month of March, or someone who wakes up at 3:33. The letter L, the number 7. the letter CCO, the letter S, the letter B, the letter A. The I is capitalized or the L is lowercase. The number 6 or the number nu, R, V, M, W, Lumious 7, 4, 6, 9, the letter C number 2, again the letter Q and it has a capital letter or a lowercase l, C, B, F, O number CER, another O number CER, T, A, X, D, K and another O number CER. And just the last 2 letters tell me so. This person is going to be so repressed, after having endured so much, that is why they have no choice but to move towards you despite the fear. So they confirm it, that is incredible. So my beautiful family full of light, I hope I have helped you with this reading. Thank you so much for being here with me one more day. I hug you with all my love and with all my affection. And until the next reading, my loves.